In the annals of empire, some figures are cast as villains, fanatics, or madmen. Their stories twisted, their motives maligned. But what if the madman was a poet? What if the fanatic was a freedom fighter? And what if his madness was simply an unyielding love for his homeland? This is the story of Sayyid Muhammad Abdullah Hassan, known to his enemies as the Mad Mullah, but to his people, he was the Sayyid, the visionary who led Somalia in a 20-year war against 3 empires, and laid the foundations for a nation. Born among the nomadic Ogaden people in 1864, Sayyid Muhammad Abdullah Hassan was no ordinary tribal leader. He was a scholar, a Hafiz, one who had memorized the entire Quran, and had traveled extensively, including the holy city of Mecca. He returned to his homeland in the late 1890s, not to the Somalia he knew, but to a land carved up by foreign powers: Britain, Italy, and the expanding Ethiopian Empire. He saw the indignity, the loss of sovereignty, and the slow poisoning of traditional life. His message was clear: Somalia was for Somalis, and their faith, Islam, would be the unifying force against the invaders. Sayyid Muhammad was not just a preacher, he was a brilliant strategist and an inspiring leader. He established the Dervish State, Daraawiish, a sophisticated, organized movement that transcended clan loyalties. United by faith and a common enemy, his most potent weapon, beyond the spear and sword, was his poetry, the gabay. These were not mere verses, they were calls to arms, scathing denunciations of the colonialists, and anthems of freedom. They inspired his people, mocked his enemies, and forged a shared identity of resistance. The infidels have come to our land, to steal our wealth, to break our law. Rise, O people, defend your faith, for death in battle is life eternal. Each line crafted with precision, each word a rallying cry for freedom. In the face of adversity, his words became a shield, a sword, and a beacon of hope. For over 2 decades, Sayyid Muhammad and his dervishes waged a relentless war against 3 of the era's most powerful forces: the British, the Italians, and the Ethiopians. This wasn't a skirmish, it was a sustained, brutal conflict. The British, frustrated by their inability to crush the movement, launched 4 major expeditions, each more expensive and grand than the last. They called him the Mad Mullah, hoping to diminish his legitimacy, but his tenacity only grew. The dervishes, masters of guerrilla warfare, were elusive and deadly. Their greatest triumph came at the Battle of Cagaarweyne in 1903, where they inflicted a crushing defeat on British-led forces, sending shockwaves through the colonial administration. Beyond hit-and-run tactics, the Sayyid also built formidable stone fortresses, like the magnificent complex at Taleh. These weren't mere defensive positions, they were symbols of a burgeoning nation-state, challenging the very idea of colonial superiority. The fortresses stood as a testament to the dervishes' resilience and determination. Each stone laid was a declaration of their fight for freedom. The fortresses became rallying points for the dervish fighters. They were not just structures, they were the heart of a movement. But the world was changing. After World War I, the British introduced a terrifying new weapon: the aeroplane. In 1920, the 5th expedition launched an aerial bombardment campaign against the dervish strongholds. The ancient forts, designed to withstand ground assaults, were vulnerable from the sky. The psychological impact of bombs falling from above, something completely alien, was immense. The Dervish State, after 2 decades, finally began to fracture. Sayyid Muhammad, ever resilient, escaped the final encirclement, retreating into the Ogaden. But the long war, the loss of his fortresses, and perhaps the sheer weight of a world changing too fast, had taken its toll. He died in 1921, likely from influenza. His death marked the end of an era, but his spirit lived on in the hearts of his people. The struggle of the dervishes remains a powerful symbol of resistance against oppression. Their story is a reminder of the relentless fight for freedom and dignity. The legacy of Sayyid Muhammad and the dervishes continues to inspire movements for justice. Their story is etched in the annals of history, a testament to the power of resilience. The dervishes remind us that the fight for freedom is timeless. Their courage and determination resonate through generations. As we reflect on their struggle, we honor their memory and the fight for justice. The relentless war of Sayyid Muhammad and the dervishes is a story of hope, courage, and the unyielding spirit of a people. Sayyid Muhammad Abdullah Hassan's dream of an independent Somalia was not realized in his lifetime, but his relentless struggle, his ability to unite fragmented clans, and his powerful poetic voice laid the undeniable foundation for modern Somali nationalism. He showed his people that resistance was possible, that unity was strength, and that their identity was worth fighting for. When Somalia finally gained its independence in 1960, the seeds of that nation were sown by the Sayyid. Today, he is not remembered as the Mad Mullah, but as the Sayyid, the master, the father of Somali nationalism, a testament to a man who, against overwhelming odds, refused to surrender his people's dignity and freedom. The stories of anti-colonial resistance are often complex, sometimes brutal, but always vital. They remind us that the narrative of history is always contested, and that heroes often wear different faces depending on whose story is being told. What do you think of Sayyid Muhammad's legacy? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this journey into untold history, make sure to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss our next story. Thank you for watching.